I'm Rachel Breckenridge from TCTV here with head coach of the women's volleyball team, Coach Tyler North. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Rach.
All right, so I'm going to jump right into this. So you're approaching your fourth year here at Teal College as the head women's volleyball coach. So could you tell us a little bit about your background and your path to being the head coach in your current position?
So I was a assistant at the college at Brockport for 3 seasons before I came down here. We were very successful there, 2 NCAA tournaments, averaged 30 wins a year. Once my contract was up there, I was looking to become head coach, and I got the offer from Teal, and been here ever since.
And what's most important to you, about your team and improving for the future?
So we have seen some more on-court success the last few years. We've had back-to-back conference playoff appearances, which hadn't been done in, I believe, about 6 years for the program. So that was a huge step for us, especially with us being as young as we were. We had a roster of 16 last year, and 12 of those were freshmen and sophomores. So we had a very young roster. And it's really started to, to transform into a more competitive program in terms of competing at the conference level, which has been one of the huge goals since we got here, it's been nice to see.
And when one comes to a game or watches, a Teal volleyball game, virtually, what's the biggest takeaway that you want people to get from watching your team play?
I want them to watch a team that works hard. Like, they're tough to score on, likes to play fast on offense, is all over the floor, runs balls down, a team that doesn't beat themselves. You're going to have to earn it to beat us, and last year especially we really got to that point where we were, a tough out come playoff time, that the team that beat us had to earn it to beat us, which was good to see, especially in volleyball, which is a very error-prone sport sometimes, to finally get to the point where we weren't beating ourselves.
Absolutely, and each game that, I witnessed, you guys just got better and better, and, what you said you wanted to see was definitely evident, so it's great. So, as we all know, everything's been tough, since March due to the coronavirus, and how has your team, and you as a coach, navigated through these challenges?
So yeah, it was definitely tough because we lost our whole spring season with the girls. We get them for 4 or 5 weeks, get to go compete again against some schools in the area. We lost all of that. Recruiting was definitely tough because we do a lot of our recruiting on the travel club circuit, which is in the spring. So we only got to go to probably 2 tournaments to recruit. So it's definitely been different. A lot of phone calls, a lot of Zoom tours, a lot of virtual stuff. We would have Zoom meetings with the girls throughout the summer and stuff. It's definitely been different, but I'll give the girls credit. They did a very good job of navigating it, and when they were ready when we got back here in August. So I'll give them credit that they did a good job of navigating it, and me and Karen, my assistant, did the best we could to get them ready despite all the circumstances.
That's great. Sounds like you guys really tried to take this as a positive and, made it work, and, glad the girls came back ready to go. That's great. So, when you're, like you said, recruiting, when you're looking for, an athlete to come into your program out of high school, what are you looking for, and, what do you want them to get out of the 4-year experience here?
So we target kids who want to come to Teal to be remembered. Like, they want to come and do things that Teal women's volleyball hasn't been able to do, Like, they want to win a conference championship, they want to put a banner on the wall, but they also know our team GPA every year, we're getting the ABCA Academic Award, which you need a 3.6 or above. Like, they got to be good in the classroom, they got to be able to come in and work, and we really have done a good job of identifying kids that when they leave as seniors, they're better than they were as freshmen, not only as volleyball players, but as young women as well. So that's been huge to see the alumni come back and be like, oh, wow, that's great to see, like, how the program's progressed and that sort of stuff. So we are a little picky, but we've been lucky enough to get some of the right ones in here.
Awesome. So looking forward, what does it look like? Like, you guys going to have a season, and if you do, what's it going to look like?
So right now we're supposed to play beginning end of February. It will be a limited season. It will be shortened conference only schedule. But my team, they just want to be able to play, even if it's shortened. They know, during this time it's going to be different. So whatever you get, and you max out the opportunities that you're allowed. So we'll get to play roughly somewhere between 11 to 15 matches probably, between the end of February through early April, and we'll see how we do. That's the one bonus is now we have all of this rest of this semester and all of next semester to get ready to play. So that was one positive that came out of this. We have a lot of practice time to get ready, especially with as young as we are. So we'll see.
Yeah, a lot of time to build that chemistry as well.
Yep.
Like you said.
Yep.
So, there's a lot of restrictions and protocols, put in place right now, especially just returning back to campus. Things are kind of more monitored than ever. What are you guys, allowed to do, in preparing your players? And as well as that, you mentioned before recruiting. Is that kind of eased up a little bit? Are you able to go see some more players in person?
So on the recruiting side, we've actually been able to get over into Ohio and see some kids. There are some school districts that are allowing college coaches and limited fans. So we just got to get a hold of the kid or the coach beforehand, and they get us on the list and we can get in. But all those are, masked up in the stands and socially distanced and all that stuff. But we have been able to get out and see a couple kids, which is nice. In terms of in practice, we've had to make adjustments. We can't go live right now. Like we can't do full 6-on-6 due to social distancing stuff, and you got to be masked. So you can't just run them into the ground and do as many fast-paced conditioning reps as we used to do. So again, a little bit of a positive is me and Karen have had to create new drills. We've had to come up with new drills that we never had done before because, well, we can only have 4 over there. So how do we, figure it out and still get them to do the skills we want them to work on? So there will definitely be some stuff that comes out of this that we'll use moving forward, but it's definitely been different in terms of not being able to do some of the stuff that our student athletes are accustomed to in practice.
So you're also having to, use your creativity as
Mhm.
well and, create some new drills. So that's a positive,
Yep.
Keeps you thinking just
Yep.
like your players. So my final question here is, what do you think, again, you're approaching your 4th year, what is special about Teal College to you?
So to me, I came from a big state school where, you could walk across campus and you could walk by nobody you knew. I mean, here at Teal, and I tell recruits this, like, you're going to be known. Your professors are going to know who you are. Other athletes are going to know who you are. Other faculty is going to know who you are. Like you have a good game, and you're going to go to the cafeteria and be like, oh, hey, some football player will walk up to you and say, great job last night, or a baseball player, or women's basketball. Like, you're going to know who be known here. And, I think it's cool because as a student athlete, you guys do a great job of supporting each other, showing up for each other's games and stuff. So it's definitely a cool environment when you look up in the stands and you see all your peers and your professors and all that stuff. Like it is a very close-knit group here at Teal where people know who you are. And it's been a huge selling point for us, to be honest. With a lot of these kids we've been getting, they like the fact that their professors are going to know who they are, their peers are going to know who they are, and that they are going to leave here with a large group of people that they became friends with, not just, only their major or only their team. So it's pretty cool to see when Teal's going at full strength.
Absolutely. All right, well, I think that pretty much wraps things up. Coach North, thank you so much again for joining me, and good luck to the Teal women's volleyball team. We're all looking forward to watching you guys have another successful season this spring, so thank you so much.
Thanks, Rach.